Hi lovelies, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, on this video, let's talk about the Anupama series, guys, and we'll be talking about an upcoming episode that is about to go down in the Anupama series. Let's find out what happened between Anuj and Anupama. But before I continue to the video, guys, if you are yet to subscribe to UG Update, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, guys, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, the episode starts with Anuj telling Anupama that he will make Aadya understand and ask her to come with him. Then Anupama says the matter is about Aadya's happiness, which is in Shruti. Then Anuj says, I will make Aadya understand why you are stuck on her. Then Anupama says we have to be separated. Then Anuj asks her to tell who has threatened her. Anupama says nobody. She asks him to go back to America and start your new life there. She then says, I will not come there, and if I come, then will not come in front of you. She says, why don't you understand? We are not made for each other. And says, if you are made for each other, then you wouldn't have to wait for 26 years. She says, I couldn't keep you happy in that 1 year of marriage, and it is better that we don't unite. Then Aadya then thinks if she has decided to come and thinks she will not break her promise. And Anupama says we will not talk on the phone and we will not try to know each other's whereabouts. And if we come in front of each other, then we will ignore and move on. Anuj cries listening to her and says, I am folding my hands and asking you not to do this with me. And says, my Anu can't do this, and ask her to say who asked her. And Anupama says, my heart, and this is my decision. He asks, how dare you? Who gave you the right to take decision of your life again? And says, it is my decision to love you. And Anupama then says, whatever I want to say, I have said. Then Anuj then says, who asked you to say this? Vanrat, Aadya or Shruti? Then Anupama says nobody and asks him to let him go. And Anupama says, you said that you can do anything for me. Then think that I am asking you to give your life for me. And ask, can't you go away from me? And if you don't do, then I would think that our relationship, your love and 26 years of wait was wrong. She then asks if you would do. Then Anuj says no and says, don't force me. He says, I can't stay away from you. And then he says, you know how I lived 5 years ago. I felt suffocated. He then says, I can't let you go again and again. And asks her to ask him not to do this. But Anupama gives him her swear to him. And says, if you don't agree to me, then you will see my dead face. Anuj then looks at her in shock. Then Anuj swears on her head and says, Anuj always done what you wanted, and even today I will do the same. He says, I don't know if I will live or not, but I promise that I will go very far from you, that I will never return to you and I will never call you, and will turn my eyesight if I see you by mistake. He says, I gave whatever you want, but I say I will never stop loving you even after the death. He says, wherever I stay, I will be just of my Anu until I leave. Even after death, this birth and another birth, I will be of Anupama. Then a song plays in the background while Anuj leaves from there, and then Anupama starts crying. She then says everything is over. She says your mother has drank this poison for you. Parents give their lives for their children. Today we give away our lives and are dead throughout life. You just get happy. Then Anuj goes angrily. He breaks the mirror recalling her words, and then he sits on the ground and cries. And Anupama also cries, and then Aadya then thinks, where did Pops go? How to find out? She messages Anupama if you have kept Pops away from you. Then Anupama clicks a picture and sends it. Aadya thinks about Anuj, while Toshu and Paki ask Vanra to get Anupama's signature by cheat. Paki then says she wants penthouse, and Toshu tells that he has to go back to America if he didn't get the penthouse. Then Vanra then asks if you had talked to me and asked me how I am, and tells that he will not give them even a parking lot. He goes, and then Kavya then comes there and says if he gives you penthouse, then I'll ask him to keep his share in that. Aadya comes to Anupama and says wipe her tears and says we have visited this temple on the way, and that's why I came seeing the photo. Anupama asks her to keep Anuj happy, but Aadya then thanks her. While Anupama asks her not to do emotional blackmail with anyone or Anuj, as a mother is only foolish and not anyone. She says if she tries to emotionally blackmail Anuj, then she will come there and make her understand the manners, as she is her mother always. She agreed or not, then Aadya says I will take care of Pops and thanks her. Anupama then ties thread to her hand and asks if I can meet you. Aadya says I will meet you at Shruti and his marriage. Then Anupama thinks his heart is so pressurized with pain, but it is still beating and my breaths are so shameless. And says, why don't I die? She then faints and falls down in the temple. Anuj and Aadya leaves for the airport. Then Anupama gains consciousness and Pavesh asks if you are fine. He says, when I called on your phone, Bandiji picked the call and told. He then says, even the doctor doesn't know why you fainted. And he says, I have made poha for you. Have medicine after having it. Anupama then runs from there and sits in the auto. Then Anuj sees Anupama everywhere. While Anupama is coming there to see him for the first time, and sees Anuj's car and sees a glimpse of him. When the auto stops and the driver says that it is not working, Anupama gets down the auto and then she sees the aeroplane taking off and then she starts crying. Guys, it's quite an emotional episode, but seriously, I don't really know why Anupama is doing this because of Aadya. What is going to be the next line of action in the Anupama series? Please drop what you think about it on the comment section, and also drop what you think about this episode on the comment section. And as you do that, guys, please don't forget that this is still UG updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG updates, please and please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, guys, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright, lovelies, that'll be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next video.